Alright, how's it going, everyone? So, it is the opening week of the black bear season here in Massachusetts. I am out in the Massachusetts Berkshires to attempt to get a bear. It's about noon now. I'm going to hunt the rest of today, the next 2 full days, and in the morning of the last day. So 3 full days total of hunting here. It's about noon now, as I said. And my plan for this afternoon is I'm going to be going out to a big field where there's a bunch of cherry trees surrounding it, and the bears come out into the field to get their greens. Or that's the idea anyway. It's been pretty dry, so I'm not sure how well the grass and legumes are growing out there right now. Should be okay. It looks pretty okay in this parking area that I'm currently at. There's a lot of clovers here. But since it is so early, it's only the middle of the day. I don't really want to be out there in the tree for 8 hours. I'm going to be doing some walking around the next hour or two in a different sector, checking the black cherries and the apple trees in the area to see if they're dropping any fruit and see if there's any bear sign around it to give me an idea on what the bears are eating right now. I'll have the GoPro on just in case anything happens, but let's get into it. Alright, well, I just spent about an hour searching that little area down there by the swamp. There was only that one bear scat that I saw down there. It was relatively fresh, but it was a small bear. Not a bear that I would want to take on the first day for sure. But that's it. No apples on the apple trees, no cherries down on the ground, so it doesn't look like the bears are here because there's no food for them here. But I'm going to head over to where I was planning to set up my tree saddle this afternoon, over that field. I'll do a quick perimeter check of the field to see if there's any bear sign even in there. And I also have a trail camera that I have to check on the way that pretty much borders the field, so I'll have a general idea if any bears are using the area and decide from there whether I'm actually going to sit in the spot or I'm going to move somewhere else for the afternoon. Just going to get my equipment all packed, my tree saddle and such. I'll head down there. See you guys at the trail camera. There's the trail camera. I'm gonna check it, see what's on it. If there's any bears or anything on it, I'll show you guys now. Well, alright, I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of coyote activity in this area. There was a coyote here this morning, only 2 hours ago at 11 o'clock. And they've been here pretty much every day, it seems, since these fields were cut. Only one bear came through this trail. Pretty decent size one, probably a 200-pounder. Definitely a shooter, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there's quite as many bears in this general area as I had hoped, based on the trail camera anyway. But regardless, I'm going to walk around the field edge of the field I want to sit over tonight, and I'll see if there's any actual bear scat or anything back there. The grass is pretty dry, pretty much what I was expecting it to be. So I'm not sure if that's going to affect the bear activity out here that much, but if there's no fresh bear scat in the field, then I'm just going to go somewhere else because there's no point in sitting here really. But I'll do a quick lap, see what I can find. Alright, so it's a little after 2 o'clock now. I'm in a relatively new area for myself. I scouted this out a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, whenever I was out here last, checking trail cameras. And there's a pretty large red oak grove that it's on a downward slope. And it's pretty open, you can see pretty well down in there. I couldn't tell if there were any actual acorns growing on the trees, so that's what I'm going to be checking out now. There's also some black cherries in here. so I'll be looking for black cherries as well. But I'm just gonna make my way down into this oak grove, see if I can find bear signs, see if I can find acorns, and if I see one or the other, then I'm gonna probably hang out here for the evening. Okay, there's no oak tree right here, and there's already acorns all over the place underneath me. Good sign. So I'm just gonna head down to where the bigger oak grove is, where most of the trees are. And if it looks the same down there, I'm definitely gonna be hanging out here for the rest of the evening. So see you guys down there. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours that I've sat here. Saw some squirrels and a woodpecker, but I think I'm gonna get up, head down the hill here, and make my way through the rest of this oak grove and then further beyond it from where I've been in the past. Gonna be just looking for sign, hoping I run into a bear. I also have my dad's cell camera with me, so if I find a good spot to put that, then I'll put it there. And if I find a spot that I like better down that way, I'll just sit down there for the rest of the evening. If not, I'll make my way back up here and continue sitting here until dusk. But regardless, let's head down the hill, see what we can find. Alright, it's just about 5:45 now. Just did a big loop through the woods, checking a bunch of little oak groves, and no bear sign anywhere. No fresh bear scat, no old bear scat. There was just one that might have been a bear, but it might have actually been a raccoon. It was hard to tell. It was so old. But I noticed that all the oak groves, or all the acorns on the ground, most of them are rotten and were thrown off early. And the only ones that are good are like just coming off the trees, and they're like full on green. So I don't think the bears are eating them quite yet, which is probably why there's no sign of them in here. Seems like this is gonna be a spot to come to at the last week of the season, which I will be out here the last week of the season. Whether it's me hunting or my buddy hunting, we shall see. But anyway, for the last couple hours of shooting light, I'm gonna head to a swampy area. It's not too far from where I was when I first got here, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but at least I can walk quietly down the path, going through it, not spook anything. And typically there's something going on there. I ran into a bear there 3 weeks ago when I was out here, and another critter that may have been a bear, probably was a bear, but it could have been a deer too, it's hard to tell. But either way, back at the car, let's get packed up, head out there. Hopefully we see something in the last couple hours. Alright, 2 bears showed up not long after I put the camera out, so there hasn't been any bears on this trail for at least, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. It just doesn't seem like the bears are in this area anymore. I haven't seen any bear sign anywhere, so might be leaving this piece of property alone for the rest of the season. I don't know, I may check it out in a couple weeks, see if anything's changed, but I'm gonna head out of here now. If anything happens, I'll update you guys, but otherwise, I'll see you guys all in the morning in a new spot. Alright, good morning everyone. So this morning's plan, I'm going to be setting up in an area that I was frequenting last year. It's a really thick, brushy area. My visibility is very low, but last year there were a ton of apples down in there, and the bears were heavy down in the thicket. A lot of bear sign, got a lot of bears on the trail cameras. And when I was out here 3 weeks ago, there were a bunch of apples up in the trees, and they were even starting to drop already. So there's a good chance that the bears are again using this area just as frequently. The problem is with this spot is that, as I said, the visibility is very low, so I can only see a bear out to like 15-20 yards. So if a bear does come in, they're gonna be close. But I also have a trail camera right down in there, so at the very least we'll have some trail camera videos to look at. But I'll get my things packed and I'll head down in there once it gets a little bit lighter and I can see what's going on. See you guys then. Alright, so no bears for the first couple hours this morning. The apple trees that I was sitting under, looks like the bears have eaten pretty much all of them already. Trail camera shows that the bears have been climbing the trees to get up at the apples, so that's probably why they're not even there. There's still a lot of bear sign in that spot though, a lot of fresh droppings. And a lot of the apple trees in different spots, like the one above me right now, is still littered with apples, so still plenty of food in the area, which is why the bears are still here. The trail camera was showing that most of the activity was in the evening, down in that brushy spot, and there was even a bear there, pretty decent sized one, probably a 200-pounder. 7:30 last night. I was actually planning on sitting in that spot last night, but the wind was wrong, so I couldn't. That bear would have smelled me had I been down in that spot last night. So it's about 8:30 now. For the next couple hours, I'm gonna be just walking around. I have 2 trail cameras I have to check. Be checking for more sign, see if I can run into a bear that way. I want to set up my dad's cell camera too, in a little wallowing hole that I've had a trail camera set up in last fall, to see if the bears are using it, considering we're still in a drought. Haven't had much rain all summer out here, and most of the creeks are pretty much dry, so I have a feeling they're going to be frequenting it, especially since it's relatively warm out still. It's going to be 70s pretty much every day, so let's get moving. I'll see you guys when something happens. Big one. Well, not much on this trail camera. No bears on it in the past 3 weeks that I've had it out here, so I'm going to be moving it. Really slowly making my way to that watering hole I was talking about. And depending on what it looks like there, I'll either put my dad's cell camera there, or I'll put this trail camera in that spot. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up putting this trail camera at the watering hole and my dad's cell camera where I'm going to be going this afternoon, in the transition area between the woods and the thicket where all those apples are. And for any of you who watched my bear hunting series last year, on my last week out here, I encountered a bear in that thicket. Could just barely see him, didn't get a shot off at him, but that's where I'm going to be heading this afternoon. But I'm going to be heading out there with my tree saddle so I can get up in one of those trees and see above all the goldenrod that obscured my view from the bear last year. So hopefully if another one does it this year, I'll actually be able to get a shot off at him. But anyway, I'm gonna head over to that watering hole, see what we can find. I'll sit here at the watering hole for an hour or so, see if anything shows up. I did spook something out of here. I think it was a deer, though. I think I saw its white tail running off. I'm not seeing any bears scat around it, so I'm probably just gonna put the normal trail camera here rather than the cell camera, but see if anything shows up. Alright, so it's about 12:30 now. Just came out of the woods, had lunch, didn't see anything on my walks around. I didn't check the second trail camera that I was planning on checking. I didn't think I really had the time to get over there before the time that I wanted to head out to get up into the tree. But I'm gonna be heading down into the woods. Gonna be on the border between this thicket, a wetland in the thick woods, where bears travel to and from to go into the apple trees back behind me here. So just gonna finish getting my stuff packed. Let's head out to the tree. She's downwind. Alright, so as you guys can tell, it's the next morning. To give you a rundown on what happened last night, I had a bear come in, and as you guys saw, he came in up on like a little ledge, so he was standing up like this at me. I was aiming, I probably shouldn't have shot. I probably should have waited until he was at a better angle. But I was confident that I could make the shot, and unfortunately I think I pulled low. And I think I hit him in the liver rather than the lungs and the heart. And as you guys also saw, he was running around in circles. I shot at him again a couple times. He was moving around in that little brushy spot for probably about 10 minutes after I shot. And to me, it kind of sounded like he was dying. It sounded like he was moving less and less. And by the end of it, I couldn't hear him anymore, so I assumed that maybe he was dead. But he didn't do a death moan or anything, so with it getting dark out, I didn't want to go into the brush looking for a wounded bear in case he was wounded. So I kind of just quietly snuck out of the tree stand and made my way out of there, hoping to just leave him overnight and let him expire and come back in the morning. Well, when I got up to the parking lot here, there were 2 game wardens that heard me shoot, or at least one of them did, and they brought their partner down here as well. They checked my licenses, all that stuff. That was all good. I told them what happened, told them I was going to wait until the morning because I wasn't 100% sure that the bear was dead. And I mean, they were both pretty adamant that I should go down in there and at least check to make sure, because if they're like, if that bear is injured, it's better to just put him down tonight rather than leave him suffering. I wasn't going to do it, but they convinced me to go in there. Kind of wish they didn't now, because we did go down back in there. They came with me. We did find blood almost immediately where I saw the bear last and where I heard him mingling around in the brush. And it was just dark red blood, no bubbles or anything like that, so it definitely looks like a liver shot. There was quite a bit of blood though, and I tracked that for a little over 100 yards, watched the blood taper away a bit, but after about, I think I marked it at like 120 yards in a straight line. We came to a spot where the blood was just starting to trickle a little bit, and I did hear a branch snap as I was walking in there. One of the game wardens I was with heard it too, because she was with me. The other guy was searching a different area. And as I said, we heard a branch snap. I'm pretty confident it was the bear because we found a little spot that looks like he was bedded down. But still not a lot of blood in the bedded down spot. And then he switched directions. He started to head back to where he originally came from. So we called it there, left some markers in the last spot that we saw blood. Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing all day today, is grid searching this. I think it's about a 20-acre piece of brushy woods, hoping that the bear expired overnight and I can find him. And if not, I'll have my rifle with me and I'll have to put a final shot in him. But I hope it doesn't come to that point. I hope I just find him dead out there somewhere. Or at least I hope I find him in general. But I'm not going to bring the cameras with me. I'm just going to be solemnly focused on finding the bear and putting it down if need be. So I'll update you guys later if I find him. If not, I guess we shall see. Alright, well, I'm back at the tree stand now. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the bear. It's coming up on noon. Been searching for just about 5 hours between last night and today. I tracked the bear probably another 100-150 yards from where I last saw sign last night. Tracked him down to a creek where he bedded down in some grass right across the creek. And there were little splotches of blood all in that little bedding spot. But from there, I cannot tell which direction he went. Can't find any more blood beyond it. I went up each one of the trails that I thought he probably might have gone up to see if I could find any sign, and I couldn't find anything. No blood, no broken over plants suggesting that he went down that path, nothing. So, unfortunately, it seems that I lost the bear. Really sucks that you can't use dogs in this state to help track wounded animals. Even though, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure this bear is dead. By how it was acting, based on the trail, I really don't think it is. I'm not even sure that I actually hit the liver. It might have just been a body shot or a leg shot. It might have just scraped underneath him to cause him to bleed as much as he did. Because there was no smell to the blood either, so there was no like stomach or intestine shot at all. It was just dark red blood, so I mean, it could be liver, but at that angle that I shot from, if I hit the liver, I would have definitely hit the digestive tract as well. So it makes me think that I just missed the entire body cavity entirely. But I guess really I'll never know unless he happens to show up on one of these trail cameras. and I can somehow ID him from the other bears that are in the area. But with that would be the end of the bear season for me. I'm gonna count that as my one bear for the season. Whether he's only wounded and he'll live or he'll end up dying out in the woods, I don't know, but I'm counting it regardless. So I myself will not be bear hunting the rest of the season, but next week my dad is coming out with me and he'll be bear hunting, and I don't know if I'm gonna be hunting with him now or if I'm gonna be hunting squirrels with Jasmine or by myself. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm gonna do. And in the week after that, I'm heading out here with my buddy Paul, who bear hunted with me 2 seasons ago and not last year. We're gonna try to get him a bear as well. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry to end it on such a bad note, but I'll see you guys all next time.